Hello everyone and welcome to Metro TV. I am your host Andy Hoig, publisher and CEO of Metro Magazine. We have a great show today. It is Colon Cancer Awareness Month and we'll be talking to the Great Plains Colon Cancer Task Force. We'll also be talking to the Omaha Public Schools Foundation about their upcoming event, VIN Nebraska. And finally, the UNO Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. We have Dr. Dale Easley coming on to talk about that and their upcoming gala. So don't go away, we will be right back. Well, welcome back. I'm here with Dr. Alan Thorson and Joey Loth. Thank you both for joining me today. It is Colon Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
So we're here to talk about that. And Dr. Thorson, you are a colon and rectal surgeon and an advisor to the Great Plains Colon Cancer Task Force.
That's correct.
Yes, and like I said, I saw you last year at the Boxer 500, which is one of my favorite 5Ks.
I'm glad to hear that.
Raising money for colon cancer. But yeah, let's just talk a little bit about what is colon cancer? I mean, let's just talk a little bit about that first.
Oh, well, colon cancer is just a growth that starts out in the lining of the colon or the rectum. It's one of our GI cancers. It kind of presents silently. It doesn't really give too many symptoms until it's advanced a little bit. So that's why we make March Colon Cancer Awareness Month to tell people how they can best try to avoid colon cancer.
Well, then let's talk a little bit about that, about screening, about prevention, and so what are you encouraging people to do? I mean, probably all year round, but especially during this month.
So, well, actually, yeah, it is all year long.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But we get to talk about it more this
Sure.
month. So, probably the most important preventative thing we can do for colon cancer is to get screened. Okay, screening means getting examined when you reach a certain point in your life.
Okay.
And now that point in your life is at age 45.
Okay.
And people who need to be screened are those who they think they're perfect. They have no symptoms, no bowel problems, no bleeding, no family history. All those things mean you need to be examined. But for screening is the people who wouldn't normally think about it. And they just reach age 45.
Okay.
They need to get it tested.
So that's when you really need, to really get that on your radar screen.
Yep.
Moving forward. And Joey, so you're a survivor of this. So talk to us just a little bit about your journey and how this all, the path that you've taken.
Well, when I turned 50, the age was 50 when you were to get screened. And at that time, I didn't have, insurance was different. It was right before ACA kicked in. And so you didn't have all the preventative and the screenings that are included in those programs, in those policies now. And so I was turning 50, independent contractor, high deductible, so I didn't have that, so I skipped it. And a lot of my symptoms were masked because I was also going through menopause.
Okay.
And so it was March, and I started noticing, that's when the symptoms started to present themselves in a more severe way. I started noticing blood in my stools, the bloating and such I'd always attributed to my age.
Sure.
And I had a high deductible, no pre-existing condition for 1 year policy because I was an independent contractor.
Yeah. Yep, I understand
and so
that.
I thought, well, I'll get on Google. So I had a kind of an idea what was going on. And I thought, I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold out for Obamacare to kick in because then no pre-existing and I'll be good.
Yeah, because what year was this?
This was, it was in 2012.
Okay.
So it was in Obamacare kicked in 2013. So that was in March. By June, the symptoms, and I had a slow growing tumor. And so it definitely would have been caught had I had been screened at 45, more likely.
Okay.
I have no family history. I have 10 brothers and sisters as well with no family history. So I'm a really good example as don't think you're immune to this.
Right.
You're still there. But anyway, by the end of June, I realized that I couldn't wait. I had, narrowed stools, blood in my stools. And it's subtle. It's not blatant. Like a lot of, it's not real obvious when people see it. I also had, one of the other symptoms is you feel pressure on your bottom, like you have to to go to the bathroom, but you can't. So I went to One World Community Health Center and said, hey, this is what I have going on. And I know doctors hate to hear that you say you Googled.
Right.
And that's the first thing I said. But anyway, they put me in touch with a program called Every Woman Matters, which has a colon cancer screening process. And that's how I met Dr. Evans at Midwest GI. And it probably took longer to go through the sign up with Every Woman Matters. But once I met with with Dr. Evans, within 3 days I had the I had the colonoscopy. And I woke up and he said, Joey, you have cancer.
Wow, yeah.
So, and within 2 weeks, I met Dr. Turnett with the Colorectal Cancer Center and started treatment.
Okay. How do you, so talking about screening, so you're talking about the different symptoms and then you finally went and got checked out. When did you, when was the day, was it 2012? When did you get
September
diagnosed?
26th.
Okay. So take us just a little bit through the process of the diagnosis to what happened.
I pretty much had come to the conclusion, and this is, I mean, to be graphic, I knew I had a really large polyp or the worst hemorrhoid ever.
Sure.
You know, and
Yeah.
and I remember Dr. Evans saying, oh, it could be diverticulitis, and I said, I don't mean to be an armchair Google doctor, but I'm already accepting of what I'm probably have going on.
Yeah.
And basically, you know, I got on Google right away. I mean, I did. Again, I wanted to be, I had already kind of had an understanding what the journey was going to be. And the first thing they wanted to check, so within 24 hours, he had scheduled me for an MRI and a CT scan,
Right.
a CT and then MRI, because they knew it was far enough. When you go into for the colonoscopy, yes, the prep is uncomfortable.
Right.
But let me tell you a little bit about my side effects.
Yeah.
And the prep's worth it.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
but within 24 hours, Dr. Evans had already gotten a hold of Methodist and the colorectal center, and I was scheduled for a CT. They saw suspicious spots on my liver, so they organized the MRI, and we're able to, eliminate that as they were not as malignant or anything. So, but they could see that it had gone outside of the colon or the rectum at that time. So then, you kind of, it was the wait in between.
Right,
And then meeting
for sure.
with Dr. Turnett. And so Dr. Turnett immediately, we went in for a consultation, and the very next day had me scheduled for a sonogram to stage it. And I was stage 3B, which means that the tumor had grown outside of the colon.
Right.
And was affected. We knew that we had at least 3 lymph nodes that
Yeah.
were also affected, but we were able to see it hadn't gone any further.
Sure. So we talked a little bit about family history. Like you said, it doesn't show up necessarily in your family. I mean, you can just be A-OK, 100%. As people go through, if they find out this, as they go through the treatment, because again, I just kind of go back to the walk, met so many people in that walk that are a survivor of that. And let's just talk about kind of that survival rate and what does that mean with colon cancer? Is it very treatable? Is it?
So yeah, we can talk. I think that's probably an important point to make. If you're doing screening, actually screening allows us to do 2 really important things. One is that it can actually prevent most colon cancers, because we know that most colon cancers arise from polyps.
Okay.
And for the usual progression from a polyp to a cancer takes 5 to 10 years.
Wow.
So that's why when you're screening, you really only need to, unless you have additional risk factors, you only need to have an examination if you're doing colonoscopy once every 10 years. Now, if you choose some of the other methodologies for screening, you need to do it more often. There's stool blood tests. You have to do those every year to make them effective.
Okay.
There's a stool DNA test. You have to do every 3 years to make it effective. And if you do any of those tests, if they come back positive, you need to have a colonoscopy. But so I forget where the question was going.
Well, we're talking about, like, you find out you have cancer, the treatability of it.
Oh, yeah. So you can prevent it. I needed to get that point in. But also,
for sure.
the other thing that colonoscopy can do, or screening can do, is if you do have a cancer, you can find it when it's at an early stage. we had symptoms here that was a little bit more suggestive, a little bit more advanced than
Sure.
it was, but still treatable. But the earlier you detect it, the better it is. If you have a stage 1 colon cancer, survival, 5-year survival is in excess of 90%.
Okay.
If you have metastatic disease or stage 4 colon cancer, then the 5-year survival drops down to around 5 to 10%.
Right.
So we didn't have stage 4 here,
No.
so that was
Yeah.
good. But so it makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
A huge
To-
difference.
To
That's
get
the-
that early.
And one of the things is that's the first thing that I was looking at. Had I been screened at age 45, I had a slow-growing tumor. There's a very good chance they would have caught it at stage 1,
Yeah.
stage 2, or even prior.
maybe a
It could
polyp.
have just been a polyp, but I didn't. I didn't, and so it went to stage 3B.
Right.
So it was over a year of treatment, just
Right.
treatment.
To did that. So where do people, getting screened, do they just call their doctor? I mean, what, do they go to a specialist? I mean, how did that all work?
So I always tell patients that they're their own best advocate.
Okay.
So they should ask their primary physician about, if they haven't been told about screening by that physician, they should ask about it.
Okay.
And then if they don't have an answer, yes, need to be done. Let's say you're 50. So-
Right.
And you haven't been screened yet, and you think you Googled, and you know, oh, I should be screened.
Right.
And if you ask your doctor and they say, no, it's not important, then I just say you should go to a different doctor, or you can call directly to any of the endoscopy centers.
Right.
Dr. Evans, my center with Dr. Turnett, that we do colonoscopies. You could, or you could go, online, you can get kits for stool DNA testing if you wanted to go that route.
Okay.
There's lots of ways to go about this, but it's important to be your own best advocate, because
Absolutely.
sometimes I can just tell you need to be screened. So
Absolutely.
don't skip.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we know our bodies, and it's up to us to take care of
Yeah.
our health. So the Colon Cancer Task Force, people can go there, the website, to find out more information.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
and that website is
At Great Plains colon. Oh, that's gosh.
actually coloncancertaskforce.org. I was giving you a test.
Yeah. I can go there, but my fingers go where
Yeah.
they belong, and I don't always
Yeah.
make that. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you both for coming and sharing. First of all, thank you, Joey, for sharing your story. The important message is, regardless of what time of year it is, get tested when you hit that age of 45, for
Yes.
sure, regardless of whether you think anything's wrong or not.
If you think something's wrong, you need to be.
Yeah, for sure.
You need to get a
Yeah.
diagnostic exam,
Yeah.
not a screening. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you both so much for coming. Again, Colon Cancer Awareness Month, coloncancertaskforce.org for more information, and we will be right back. Well, welcome back. I'm here with Dr. Dale Easley. Thank you for joining me, Dr. Easley.
Oh, happy to be here.
And you are with the Center for Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Franchising.
Yep, it's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. But let's talk about that. And that's with UNO, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so at UNO, what are some of the most impactful programs?
Oh, yeah. Well, we have a lot. We try and provide entrepreneurial experiences and education to students, and so we have, the typical contests like a big idea pitch contest or Maverick business plan contest that has $6,000 of prizes. But we also have a lot of other experiential things. We have a whole weekend startup experience called Breakthrough Weekend we run in the fall. We have a entrepreneurship conference called the Midwest Entrepreneurship Conference in the spring for 2 days, and we have about 400 students from 30 different universities come into Omaha and hear speakers from all over the country. Last year we had Jeff Hoffman, the founder of Priceline, come and speak. And just speakers like that, it's very inspirational for the students. We also have other programs like our Entrepreneurial Living Learning Community, where freshmen come in, live together in the dorm, they get a scholarship, and we give them all kinds of experiences throughout the year. And then in the spring, we take them on a trip somewhere, and they'll be going to Silicon Valley and touring Facebook and Google, and yeah, it's quite an experience for them. So we have summer camps, and we do a lot of businesses with students. So we run a cafe that last year put $50,000 in the pockets of students, either through wages or scholarships.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful. So let's just talk a little bit about the impact that this has on the community as a whole.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I think it's really important to have programs like these because before this, students would have to perhaps go to other places to get the training and especially the support financially for startup ideas. And if you look at Omaha, the most businesses that have been started by UNO alums. And so I think it's important to provide that to them and give them that training. I think it's also useful to help build up local businesses because our students, every year, I think we're getting better and better qualified graduates from UNO, and they make great interns, they make great employees, and I think that's something that we brought to the table in the last 10 years.
Absolutely. So something new this year with the spring event coming up is a gala.
Yeah.
So this is the first annual.
Yeah.
Excited. That's how we kind of started to connect
Right.
with that. You've got two pretty amazing honorary chairs,
Yep.
Willie Thiessen and Van Dieb. But let's just talk about that evening.
Well, it's always been something I wanted to do because I think there's a place to recognize that UNO has really come a long ways. And in the last 20 years, it's nothing like the university it was before. It's so strong now. And I just think there needs to be a place to recognize the achievements of our alum. And there wasn't a big event kind of honoring that for alums who had an entrepreneurial bent.
Right.
And so this is their chance to be recognized and for us to kind of look back and go, wow, they've really accomplished some impressive things. And so we have some alumni coming back who've started really interesting and great companies, some not even locally, some on the coast. And
Yeah.
it's a time to find out who they are and kind of applaud it.
Yeah, and I think, sharing those stories, they're inspiring. The entrepreneur journey is not an easy journey by any means, and it is a way to celebrate
Right.
and applaud.
Well, and your father's a good example
Yeah.
of that. And maybe you'll be speaking about him at
Right.
the gala. I
Yeah.
think will be a really great time to honor what he achieved here in Omaha.
Yeah, getting he passed away in January, and just really over the last couple of years understanding his whole journey and in the conversations I had with him. It's been one heck of a ride.
Yeah.
So as I think most entrepreneurs can say. So yeah, I'm really honored to be able to say a few words and speak to what he's done.
Yeah.
Along the way. So the gala, what is the night of the?
The gala is going to be April 5th. It's Friday night. It'll be at the Coneco, which is where we also hold our conference. And we have some great entertainment. We'll have Maha Music Festival providing some musical entertainment, typical gala, silent auction,
Sure.
drinks, hors d'oeuvres, and
Yeah.
some surprises.
All right. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to that. So before we go, how can the community support the center?
That's a great question. And I think a center like ours really relies on the community as a partner to collaborate with. So we definitely need people to hire our students, but also we have events where we need mentors to guide our students when they have career paths they want to explore. We need judges for our contests all the time, and we've gotten some really fantastic people to do that, and we're always looking for more partners in that regard. And then, of course, financially, all these scholarships. We have a new program called the Maverick Venture Fund. We've just invested $20,000 in student and alumni startups this semester, and these things require resources. And I think the way to view it is not just an investment in some academic program, but the monies that go to this program are reinvested back in the community and lead to the long-term economic development of Omaha. And I think that's how we view that.
Yeah, absolutely. Where can people go to find information? Do you have a website?
Yeah, we do, and it's an easy one to remember. It's entrepreneurship.unomaha.edu. So
That is easy.
That is. It took a while to get that
Yeah.
one, but that
Yeah.
one's nice and easy.
All right.
Entrepreneurship.unomaha.edu.
All right. Well, thank you so much
Sure.
for joining me today, learning more. Again, I'm excited about the gala.
Yeah.
And thanks for the opportunity.
We appreciate
for me
the time.
to say
Thank you, Andy.
A few words about my dad at the gala. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Cool.
And we will be right back. Welcome back. I'm here with Kathy David. We're talking about an upcoming event, Vin Nebraska. She is the co-chair, and this year it is benefiting the Omaha Public School Foundation. Kathy, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
Well, let's talk about Vin Nebraska and the event. I mean, I'm very familiar with it. This is the first year Omaha Public Schools Foundation is the recipient of the funds, the nonprofit arm of it.
Yes,
so
that's
let's just talk about what is Vin Nebraska?
Well, it's been going on for like 39 years, I believe, or
Wow,
something.
yeah.
We're into, a very long-running program, and it is just growing exponentially over the years. So it's really a small committee of wine aficionados that pair up with a charitable organization each year to raise funds for that organization. And they bring in, well, this year we'll have 21 wonderful vintners from the West Coast, all up and down the West Coast. And we're going to have a 2-day event. It'll be Friday the 29th at Happy Hollow Club. And Friday night is a 7-course gourmet meal.
Yeah,
and
it's spectacular.
Yes,
yeah.
It's all about the wine pairings. And then Saturday night is, there'll be over 600 people at the Ramada Plaza by Wyndham.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll grand auction and wine tasting on Saturday night. So
yeah, and that's where you can you're walking around and you're tasting different wines, and there's food and music, and it's just I mean, it's just a fun evening.
Silent auction items, and we're going to this year the foundation is focusing on their career academies. They serve the Omaha Public Schools. So our students will be there showcasing their wonderful work in the academies.
Oh, wonderful.
And yeah, it's very exciting.
So talking a little bit more about how Omaha Public Schools is involved, because again, this is the first year that you this organization is the recipient. So what are the funds, how will they help the programs at the Omaha Public Schools?
Well, as I said, we're kind of focusing on those career academies.
Right.
So the academies, and we have, I think there's, every high school has, a focus on, from construction to health, care industry to the performing arts, and they all have simulation labs that help them in this workforce development initiative. And so a lot of the funds will go to help support those labs and the programs themselves.
Really, I mean, it's such an important program, or the programs to help.
It really is.
Yeah, to
it
help
really is. It's
kids,
very exciting.
Yeah, as they go out into the world and discover. Who are the directors at the foundation?
Toba Cohen-Denning is the executive director, and then the associate director is Joe Lisi.
Okay.
And they're just a fabulous duo, and the foundation just moved into
I was just going to say,
office.
you just moved into a new space.
Right, in the Blackstone, which is really exciting. They used to be down at 32nd and Cumming.
Right.
In the administrative center.
Right.
So it's a wonderful opportunity, and one of the things that Toba has done is invited, the OPS community into the new office, and that she opens it up for all sorts of events and activities so that we can really share in that community feeling. So
going back to the event, let's talk about a couple of the items being auctioned. Do you have a silent and an oral auction?
We do, both nights.
Okay, both nights.
Yeah, Friday night is a little smaller, but we have some really wonderful packages. Tickets to Hamilton and Chicago. There's a bed and breakfast Airbnb opportunity in San Francisco.
Nice.
That's paired with a wine tour. And we have airline tickets for that one, which is really nice. And then we have wonderful wines from all the vintners. The vintners participate, besides just having the wine tasting, they're donating to the auction. So we are so appreciative of their support and what they donate. So some wonderful wine packages are going to be a part of all of that. And then the Career Academies have also contributed. They'll be in one of their programs, they build these beautiful Adirondack chairs.
Oh, I
and-
love Adirondack chairs, yeah.
Yeah, the foundation has actually purchased those for sale, for auction.
Okay,
So that's kind of exciting to
Yeah.
get the kids involved.
so how can people buy tickets if they're interested?
Guess what? We're sold out.
You are? Oh my gosh.
I know, it's amazing. We had no idea when we...
For both nights?
For both nights.
Well,
we sold
then-
all our
oh
sponsor.
my goodness.
Yeah, we sold all our sponsor tables, and we had no idea that we would be able to accomplish this. You know, it's such a huge undertaking.
Yes, it
and
is.
It is. So, but amazing supporters, and
Yeah.
so we have our, you know, I think. Oh gosh, I don't even know the numbers off the top of my head of all the sponsors that have bought
Right.
tables, but all of our tables sold out.
Congratulations.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very exciting, and we have some individual tickets that sold as well.
Okay.
And a great raffle prize, I have to mention that, donated by Borsheim's
Okay.
golden or diamond earrings.
Wonderful.
So that'll be fun too.
Well, if people want to find out more about the Omaha Public Schools Foundation, where
Yes.
can they go to learn more?
Their website, opsfpossible.org.
Okay.
And it tells all about all of the programs that they administer, and it tells all about Bend, Nebraska there as well.
Okay.
So, and if they want to buy a raffle ticket, anyone can buy a raffle
Okay.
ticket. It's our BidPal site, which is bidpal.net/OPSFpossible.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, Kathy, thank you so much
You're
for coming on the
welcome.
show, and congratulations.
Yeah.
Again, I know how wonderful this event is, so it doesn't surprise me, and you've got obviously wonderful supporters, so thanks
yes.
again.
Thank you very much.
And we will be right back. Thank you so much for joining us today. Again, if you want more information about Metro Magazine, go to spiritofomaha.com. Also like us on Facebook at Metro Magazine, all one word. Our new giving guide is out, so look for over 85 nonprofits. Again, spiritofomaha.com to find out more information about that. So again, thank you, and we will see you back here next week.